What's up, everyone, and welcome to the final episode of Season 1 of the Creative Noelan podcast. There's no guest this time, it's just you and me. So, let's get into it. So, here we are. We made it. In the beginning, I'm not going to lie, it felt a bit ambitious, but we've done it. 21 episodes with 21 amazing guests for the first season of the Creative Noelan podcast. And in that time, we've been nominated for an award. We've nearly hit 3,000 downloads across 43 countries. And I just wanted to say a huge thank you to not only all of the incredible guests, but also to you for listening and being a part of the Creative Noelan community. I've been inspired and incredibly humbled by all of the support so far. I started the Creative Noelan podcast to shine a light on some of the incredible people in my world doing interesting, inspiring things with their lives. And we've had everyone from artists to athletes to entrepreneurs all sharing their unique stories. And I've been lucky enough to pick the brains of these wonderful humans to try and learn just a little bit more about how they've done it or how they're doing it. So I thought I'd do a bit of a recap and share some of the things that I've learned from each of these amazing guests on Season 1 of the Creative Noelan podcast. First things first, creativity looks different for everybody, but in the particular lies the universal. It hasn't really mattered what type of journey the guests are on. The problems and the hurdles that they faced have all been the same or similar. Getting started, imposter syndrome, fear of failure, creative blocks, financial insecurities, and even just finding the time to pursue their dreams and their goals. But each guest has just continued to push through, putting in the work with loads of resilience, drive, and most of all, passion. They've all persisted, and there's loads of lessons in their stories that we can all learn from. But I thought I'd go back through each one of the podcasts and share with you some of the major lessons that I've taken from each of the incredible and inspiring guests we've been lucky enough to talk to on Season 1. So I went right back to episode 1 and listened to them all again. And once I got over the fact that it's still weird hearing the sound of my own voice, I made a little note for each one, and I'm going to share those notes with you. I'm not going to go into great detail. It's for you to listen to the podcast to really get the most out of each one of these episodes. So, let's start at the beginning. Sophie Rose Walters, episode 1. You can't take no as a setback. If you really want something, you'll find a way to make it happen. Episode 2, Daniel Lopez, another artist. The only way to find your unique creative language is through experimenting and allowing oneself to play. You have to be an amateur in everything. Episode 3, Aaron Gulliver, pro athlete. I wrote down discipline and consistency and applying a pro athlete's mindset to attacking and achieving any of our goals. Paul Stringer, my good friend, filmmaker and Mr. Poetry. You have to follow your passion. You can fail doing something that you don't enjoy, or you could take a chance on failing doing something you love. Wiz Selvey, a friend of mine from way back at university, brand and retail consultant. There's a market for everything, you just have to find your tribe or your customer. Next one. Ava Kira, oil painter. Creating is cathartic. Expressing emotion within your work is one of the most important aspects. Episode 7, Dean Gordon, another friend from university, a creative entrepreneur. I wrote down, it's a fine balance between creativity and business, but when you find the sweet spot, you can break through barriers and change people's lives. Gabrielle Hunt, my friend and makeup artist, she's been making my photography work look good for years and years. Real learning comes from doing. Another brilliant, brilliant statement. You can watch all of the YouTube tutorials that you like or read as many books as you like, but real learning comes from actually doing. Where are we? John Saul, Cosimo Art, the free art platform for artists. Embrace entrepreneurship to beat the starving artist narrative. There's never been a better time for artists or creatives to turn their passion into income. Episode 10, Mark Wilkinson, another great guy. We only get one shot at life, so devote your life to the pursuit of what you love. Easier said than done, but equally important message. Lachlan Monaghan, male principal lead of the Birmingham Royal Ballet. Your comfort zones will kill you. Say yes and learn how. Don't pull away from the things that could change your narrative or your life because of fear. Oh, that's a good one. Should we say that again? Don't pull away from the things that could change your narrative or your life because of fear. Great one. Becky Weir from Midland Therapy Group, my sister. Now, I mean, obviously I've learned so much from my sister over the years, and within this episode, she actually gives us 7 practical and very easy to apply tips that we can all use to help improve our mental health. My favorite of which is don't be afraid to say no. Matt Johnson, commercial artist and one of my best mates. I've written down, there's an incredible power that art and creativity has to inspire and empower people. Very true. So who's next? Claire Garrett, abstract artist, who was just hopefully still basking in the glory of her first solo show. Sometimes it's the moments that knock you off your feet that force you to reassess everything. Very true in life. Mukka Isbahani, artist from Cameroon. Really interesting podcast. Art and creativity can transcend borders and open doors if you're brave enough to walk through them. Next. Mr. Tim Brett Day, photographer, the Dark Prince of Acton. This one is all about legacy. You have to create the work that you love, and that is the stuff that will be your creative legacy. This one was a really important one for me because Tim is really someone I've admired for a long time, and I was very unsure about whether to ask him or whether he'd even consider coming on the podcast. And when he did, it actually gave me so much more confidence. Yeah, so I'm very appreciative of that episode, and not only Tim agreeing to be on it, but also what it did for my confidence as an interviewer. Next, where are we? I've lost my way. Boxy Trixie. A creative journey is never a straight line, and success is not a destination. Another great bit. A creative journey is never a straight line, and success is not a destination. Brilliant. Episode 18, Imbu, the Mad Professor of Art. Now, this was a very interesting one for me because I've collected Imbu's work for a while. There's so many brilliant and crazy concepts that he brings to life, but what I actually took away from Imbu was his business and commercial acumen and how building your audience is so important. It just gives you that head start that all artists and creatives and entrepreneurs are looking for, whatever it is you're doing. Shelby Billingham, model, actress, DJ, producer. I wrote down, transitioning between creative fields takes resilience and adaptability, and Shelby is definitely adaptable. Mike Bullard, episode 20. Passion can grow the more you explore and the more you experiment. Definitely an interesting one. Mike is an incredible chef, but his passion didn't start as food, and that's a very interesting story. And finally, episode 21, Alistair Gill, leadership coach, and again, one of my best friends. This one was brilliant. It really hit with me, and there was so much useful stuff that I've taken away from it. But what I wrote down is that we already have the tools to design the life that we want. We've just got to realise it. It's definitely an interesting episode for you all to go and check out if you are struggling a little bit to get unstuck maybe. There's some great pointers in there that would be really useful. Anyway, so these are just some of my observations and lessons that I've learned. I mean, there's loads in there, and yours might be completely different, but either way, I hope that the vast array of guests and the diversity of guests have been useful, and you've been able to take something positive away from each episode, whatever journey that you're on. And that's the goal. With each episode, we just want to inspire you, to help provide you with a little bit more inspiration for that journey that you're on. But anyway, what about other things that it's taught me? What has doing the podcast itself taught me? Wow, that's a big question. Well, it's definitely taught me how to listen more, how to hopefully communicate more effectively, ask more questions, and hopefully ask better questions. And it's just confirmed to me even more so that everybody has an interesting story to tell if you're prepared to listen. What about behind the microphones? Well, that's not easy either. I mean, it's not easy to create a podcast. It's not easy to maintain a podcast. It's like anything. Starting anything new is scary, and you're full of self-doubt and imposter syndrome. Will anyone listen to the podcast? Will the conversations resonate with anybody? Do people even care? But I've been really lucky that all of the positive responses and messages that I've had about the podcast, and the fact that the Creative Noahland community is steadily building, has all given me the confidence to just keep going. So, what's next for Creative Noahland, I hear you ask? Well, now it's time to have a bit of a break. As I say, it's a lot of work, and I don't want to burn out. I don't want to create anything that's half-hearted. So I'm going to use this time to just assess what worked, assess what hasn't worked, and try and refine the podcast so that we can add as much value as we possibly can to you, the listener, in season 2. And any suggestions that you might have, I'm all ears. Seriously, get in touch and join the community either on social media or via the website, because I want season 2 to be even better than season 1. And now, finally, before I sign off on season 1, I just want to say thank you again to every one of the amazing guests. Thank you for your honesty, your openness, and in some cases, your vulnerability. And thank you for the trust that you put in me to share the stories on Creative Noahland. You've made the podcast so much more than I ever could have imagined. And now the biggest thank you to you lot, every single listener. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for being part of the Creative Noahland community. You lot are seriously amazing, and I hope that you've been interested and inspired in some way, no matter what journey it is you're on, to just keep pushing and keep trying to fulfill your goals, because without you lovely lot, there wouldn't be a podcast. Season 2 is already in the works, but in the meantime, you can continue to support the podcast by perhaps sharing it with a friend, or leaving a review on your podcast platform of choice, or even just following us on social media. It all helps and is hugely appreciated. Once again, a massive thank you for being part of the Creative Noahland community. And, well, we'll see you in season 2. Until next time, explore, inspire, create.
Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way. And so, therefore, it's so important to consider this question: what do I desire?